everyone, it's Colleen. Quick heads up, we spend 30 minutes in this episode talking about the first 2 episodes of Game of Thrones. I think it's a really fun discussion whether or not you watch Game of Thrones, but I just wanted to let you know it starts at 24 minutes and 24 seconds and it ends at 54 minutes and 24 seconds. On that note, have a great day and enjoy the show. Bye!
Broadcast.
Hello and welcome to the broadcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is season 3, episode number 40. It's also episode number 130. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Wonderful.
Cool.
How about yourself?
Oh, it's fine. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Nothing that exciting happened this past week other than we drove to New York. We drove up on Friday morning. We drove back overnight on Sunday. And gosh darn it, I'm tired.
That's a lot. So now what is the benefit to driving as to flying?
It's just cheaper.
Cheaper.
Yeah. And even sometimes I'm like, I don't know, it might be worth how expensive it is to just fly. Because we got up at 4 and we left at 5 on Friday. And even that was too late because our last 2 hours was just crawling through traffic in New York.
Yeah.
And we didn't get there until we left at 5. We didn't get there until 4 p.m. and that was a little bit longer.
Oh
than
my
usual.
God.
I know.
Long trip.
It was, you know, we were doing great with time, no traffic, and then once we got right before that GW bridge, that
GW bridge.
Yeah, it was definitely like, all right, well, now we're not moving for a while. But anyway, whatever. Easter was super fun. I mean, it was low key, but it was still fun. Spend it with my family. But then we left at 6 o'clock at night, and we got home at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I just can't do that anymore.
That's fair.
Next time, suck it up. Take the day off from work on Monday and leave at 4 in the morning because I am too old for that shit.
Holy fucking shit.
I'm also just impressed that your kids can handle being in the car that long without freaking out.
Oh, they couldn't, but this is I'm trying to make the story happier. They slept much of the way home. We left at 6. Zach watched the iPad until 9:30, I think. Then we stopped at a rest stop, and then after that, I was like, "All right, you're done. No more. It's time to go to sleep. You usually go to bed at 7:30. I think it's time." And he fell asleep within a minute after protesting, "I'm not tired. I don't want to go to sleep." And then he was out. It's yeah, that's what I thought. Alex fell asleep as soon as we got in the car and then woke up from about 8:30 to 9:30 stop. And then we get to the rest stop and he's had pooped and we get to the change help and he's like, diaper. And I was like, yes, I'm changing your diaper. Good Lord. Maybe you won't poop your pants for as long as your brother did. But, I get it. You're dirty. But, yeah. And then he fell asleep. It took him a good 30, 45 minutes after that. And then he slept for the whole rest of the trip. And then it was between Jay and I to try to keep each other awake. Because, I don't know, we hit that 1 a.m. point and it was brutal. The last 3 hours were just tough. But we made it. We're here. They were well rested. I went to sleep at 10:30 last night and slept all the way through until Alex woke up at 5:30. He woke up, he was standing in his bed crib, and he's like, Baba, 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 Baba. And I was like, do you want a bottle, Alex? I couldn't tell. Literally, hand just sticking straight out. Baba, Baba. And I was like, okay.
And please is the next word we learn.
And I was like, where's the please? And he's like, because please is this. I'm rubbing my one hand in the middle of my chest. But he goes the, please, come on, let's go, lady, do it faster. Anyway.
So you realize that after basically an all-nighter, then you're going to bed early is still later than when I usually go to bed on a regular night.
Well, I actually last night realized at about 10 o'clock that I hadn't posted. So we did the Survivor JJC podcast bonus thing with Zach, I did it with him on like Thursday night, and I totally forgot about it. And I got into bed at like 10 and realized, because I told you guys I've been working on this like house project, and I did that until about 9:45, and then was like, I'm too tired, I need to go to sleep. And I got into bed at 10 and realized, shoot, I hadn't done the bonus thing. So I did that really quickly and got that posted. And then I was like, oh, God, I didn't do that other thing that I usually do, which is that last week on post. So then I did that really quick. And then I shut the computer off, like went to pee, got into bed, and was ready to shut the lights off. And then I realized, like, they're going to finish Game of Thrones soon, and I'm going to have to post that. Like, I usually try to stay up and post them when they do them on, like, Game of Thrones or Stranger Things or whatever. When it happens, like, at night, I try to stay up and post it as soon as they're done. And this time I was like, I can't. I'm not going to make it. So then I was like, well, I'm going to have to post it as soon as I wake up, and let me just make the post now. And then I did that, and then it was like 10:33, and I was like, I think that I'm going to throw up. I'm so tired. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. Well, Jay said he came up at like 10:45, like not even 15 minutes later, and I was like out, and I don't remember this at all. So I must have fallen asleep pretty quickly. And then, after Alex, did his thing, and I went back in my bed and, passed out again until like Zach came in at 7, which was good because I had forgotten to set my alarm. So, and by forgotten, honestly, all right, I'll admit it. By forgotten, I was like, surely somebody will be up to wake me up. And I know my boss has physical therapy and won't be in until 10 o'clock. So forgot. Was like,
I respect that.
It was one of those.
Nice.
If I'm a little bit late, it won't matter.
Yep.
But,
I do that all the time. No judges here.
Yeah. Zach was in there at 7, and I got to work on time. So, darn it.
Hey, so quick question, because you mentioned it, and I've been wondering this. I meant to watch the season of Survivor, and then I just haven't watched
It's pretty
single
good.
episode. Okay. And how close is it to being finished? Because I was like, is it still going on? Are we getting up towards the finale?
I think there's another 4 or 5 weeks. I think. I think we're in the final 9 now, maybe.
Oh my God. So I could actually, if I'm really looking for something, I could.
Yeah, you could catch up. We had so it was an hour episode last week, but it was a double elimination. And we've had 2 double eliminations. So I think that we have another month left of the show. And actually, I'm not going to lie, like, I have enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed talking about it this season. So,
all right.
Yeah. I
finished a bunch of shows, so maybe I will do that.
Yes. Oh, speaking of shows, how close are we all to finishing Sabrina, and when do we want to talk about it? Okay, you're
I have
done.
no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Cool.
I think I have 2 or 3 episodes.
There's only 9 episodes this season.
Okay.
Well,
We switched from the Apple TV to the Roku because our Apple TV kind of shit the bed. And the interface on the Roku, it like jumps to the next episode really quickly, so you can never really tell what episode you're moving on to. It's like great and terrible all at the same time.
Well,
so I'm not certain.
Spoiler alert. Did you get to the episode with the tarot card reader yet?
Yes.
Okay.
And when we talk about the season as a whole, I would like to spend some time on that episode because I thought it was the coolest.
It was such a great episode.
Like,
it was great.
Bottle episode without being a bottle episode.
Totally.
The way they decided to tell the story was like super cool and like really removed from the rest of the narrative, but like not. I just thought it was so creative and cool.
I actually did guess the final, like,
the reveal.
I guess the reveal because we hadn't seen that character's fortune.
Yeah.
Good on you.
And I said to Jay, I was like, why haven't we seen this character? Could it be that character? And then all of a sudden we found out, and I was like, that's right. It's like my Survivor Edgic thing. It's coming back.
Yeah, good for you. I was just so enjoying like the change in storytelling that like I didn't even.
Well, see, because I had thought that would be the perfect character to.
Right. No, you're totally right. Yeah. It was such a satisfying reveal when it did come.
Yeah, it did. It was.
Definitely.
Okay, so what's the last thing you saw? Again, spoiler, everybody.
Yeah, so I am up to the wedding. Like, the wedding just happened.
Okay. So you've got 3 episodes left, I think.
I've got 3 episodes. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. Or maybe 4. Maybe 3 or 4.
Because we have the wedding, and then we have the...
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm looking at the descriptions.
She's got
on
four
Netflix.
left. She's got 4 left. Okay. I just went backwards in my head, and I'm pretty sure she's got 4 left.
Yeah.
Well, I can I'll definitely be done by the time we talk about it, because we're not going to talk about it during our live show, are we?
No, because there'll be okay. Oh yeah, let's talk about our schedule for the next few weeks, and then we can figure out what we're doing here. Yeah. So okay, so here's what we came up with for our potential schedule for the rest of the season, because we actually have, I think, 7 weeks of posting new shows left, and only 5 to get to our goal of 45 episodes a season. Which I guess we could do more, but I'm not that ambitious.
No,
I'm like, solid. We
also,
got that.
Numbers.
Let's do it. And numbers.
Yeah,
numbers,
we'll throw everything off.
Okay, so releasing this episode April 26th. Next week, the episode that would come out on May 3rd, we're going to take that week off from recording a regular episode, but we are going to record our patron bonus episode. So if you would like to become a patron at the $5 level or more, you can do so at patreon.com/jandjack, or go to jandjack.com, click on the become a patron link, and hear our bonus content that we do once a month. I think that it's fun. I haven't listened through yet what clips I've pulled aside, but I don't pull aside clips that I don't think are great. So, plus, I mean, if you want to hear Colleen sums up Miranda Lambert's love life in 90 seconds or less, you need to be a patron for.
It's pretty entertaining. You will not. It will not disappoint. I can assure you of that.
Yes. Also, Amanda's cat creepily licks her.
Licks me, bites me. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation.
Yeah. Well, So anyway, we're not going to have an episode out on May 3rd, but we are going to record a live show in Raleigh where we will decide the meaning of an honorary broad, that debate. We will settle that debate live on Saturday, May 4th. My guess is we'll do it at 8 or 9 p.m. Stay tuned on our Instagram page, Twitter. We'll post it. We'll get the word out there. Facebook, if you'd like to watch it. We will Patreon. I'll send an email out to the patrons. We'll get it out there for the official time, but I think that might be something that we're gonna have to play by ear based on how it's going. But I would figure about 8 or 9 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday the 4th, and then we will post our May the 4th Be With You show. If we haven't drank too much tequila, I'll try to post it that night. If we have, it will probably not be until that Sunday or Monday. I make no guarantees, but yeah, so that will be that week's show. Then we will marathon through May 7th, record our wrap-up for the Raleigh weekend to release on May 10th. We will not have a new episode that comes out the following week on May 17th, because I think we're all going to be really tired of podcasting by then. And then we'll finish up the last few weeks. We'll have one on May 24th. We might not have one the following week. We'll probably just have the Patreon show again, and then we will have episode 3.44 on June 7th, and then we will have on Tuesday, June 11th, our live 3rd birthday party.
All right. In my phone, it says broadcast 4th birthday still.
Nice.
So that is what is coming up for us for the rest of our season. And then at some point, I would love to do, even if we just do a one-off, a Big Little Lies podcast.
Mm-hmm. I would love that. I think that'd be so fun.
I think we have to.
Yeah.
I think we have to. I mean, we've got one of the show's stars here in our midst.
No big deal.
Agreed. NBD.
Yep.
And that comes out starting June 9th.
Okay, that's
wonderful.
Great. Because we can talk about the first episode on our live show and then figure out what we're doing from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, yes, that's what we have going on. Other than that, what's been going on with you guys for this last week? Getting back to business here. Or getting away from business.
I partook in an adult Easter egg hunt on Easter.
I saw.
And I'm currently drinking the spoils of the hunt. I'm drinking my beer that came in a giant beer-sized Easter egg. So that's pretty cool.
Which I kind of love.
Yeah, so my aunt hosts Easter every year, and usually my cousin comes down with her 3 kids, and so my aunt bought all the candy and stuff to do the Easter egg hunt for the kids, and then it turns out the kids weren't able to come because they were in Disney World and they were like just getting back and they were like going to be too tired. And she's like, well, I bought all the candy. I don't want it in my house. So we're all going on an Easter egg hunt.
What?
And she like picked up a couple like, Lucy craft beers, and everybody got a beer and like 6 eggs.
That's awesome.
That's super fun.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just hate
Hopefully a new
eggs.
tradition.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be the best tradition. I
Oh my
wish that
gosh,
my
that
parents
could probably
would do
get
that.
a little expensive.
Yearly? If everybody chips in like $5 beforehand.
That's true. I might suggest that if this becomes a tradition that we all chip in a little money, because
I feel like that is
shouldn't be on my aunt to be buying us all candy and beer.
I feel
We're
like,
all
or-
adults.
Yeah. Or
Right,
it's
right.
like
I buy my own candy and beer. Thank you very
No,
much.
no. It's either everybody chips in like $5 or you just bring your own beer. And you have a beer Easter egg swap too.
Oh, that could be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I like this idea. Now we're really
Yeah.
just like elevating the game here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it.
Shout out to my dad who went to his local beer distributor to find me a local IPA, and they couldn't find one that they agreed on would be good for me to try. But as he was leaving, the guy was like, here, give this to her, and gave my dad like a free 16-ounce beer for me to try. And it's still upstairs. I haven't tried it yet because I didn't get to try it over the weekend, and my dad was all like bummed. So then I felt really bad.
Aw.
And I was like,
Aw.
maybe I'll save it to June, but it's me, so I probably won't. But if I like it, I'll get some of it, and you can try it then.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, how about you, Shandy? Was your Easter full of beer too?
My Easter was spent watching Sabrina, which I thought was very appropriate for me.
So wicked millennial of you.
Yeah, no, I really never do anything for Easter. Kind of forgot that it was Easter. But on Saturday, I was volunteering at the museum. I can't remember if I've talked about it on the
You
podcast really or not.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have posted about it. Anyway, and so last week, when I went to volunteer, I'm just volunteering in a gift shop, but the cash register, like there was a problem with it. So I ended up getting a tour of the archives because I used to work in archives. So they're like, oh, maybe you can like do a
Yeah.
project in the archives. And it's like, sweet. So that was really cool. There's a lot of crazy, crazy stuff. And it's a natural history museum. So it's like really weird stuff too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like some like stuff that like you wouldn't necessarily expect the museum to have. That's just like really cool. Some that's like kind of like art and artifacts. And then some that's like dead animals. And among the dead animals, I learned about this thing that they do. Like, they get all these dead animals that people or agencies or whatever give them that are like, I think like roadkill or, just like animals that are found
Yeah.
that end up being given to the museum. And what they do with these animals is they
Taxidermy them?
basically like, yeah, but like for scientific study.
But if
So
they're already
that's-
dead,
No, totally. Like I don't feel bad about that because the animals are already dead and nobody's going out and like killing them for this purpose. It's just after the fact they come here. And one of the things I learned, that this is sort of like adjacent to the archives, one of the things that I learned that you can do, because this like 18-year-old girl came and like started doing this while I was getting my tour, you do the animal skins, which basically means that like you do the taxidermying, like you take the animal, you take everything out inside, and then you stuff it with cotton balls. And then
oh my god, this is bringing me back to like 9th grade where you dissect a frog, and I thought that was awful.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, it can't just be any old person off the street. Like, you have to have some kind of experience or have done some sort of course, right?
I'm sure that they probably train the people in how to do it. I mean, just like in the same way that I like went through a training to be a volunteer, I'm sure there's a specialized training for this, but I don't think it lasts for super long. And you probably like mirror somebody one time or
That's
shadow somebody, mirror somebody one time. And but this, so like I'm getting a tour from the archivist, and then this like, you know, young woman like comes and just talks to the archivist, is like, hey, like just checking in, just so you know, like if you see somebody in the back, like I'm here to like do the skins. And I was like jaw dropped, just like what? Because they have this freezer, and as he's like showing me the tour, he's like, and this is a freezer, and like there's another one over there, and like these are filled with dead animals that are then converted into these things that can be studied. It's crazy, but there's like this really, really confusing part of me that after the fact was like, huh, maybe I should like volunteer for that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do me a favor? And if you volunteer for that, can you not put it on the Instagram?
I was going to say, I will Instagram the shit out of this.
We'll talk.
Maybe
we'll
like
talk.
cute things like a fluffy tail or
You're like,
a little
because
paw.
you're like, this tail is dead.
It's really, really weird.
but it
it's
doesn't
also...
look dead. A tail is
Right.
a tail.
That's what she said also. Or I guess that's what he said. All right.
Anyway, that was very strange, and I just remembered that because I was thinking about volunteering. So, yeah. So then I didn't get to work at the cash register, and honestly, the last time that I had worked before that, I think I sold like $6 worth of merchandise. When I was there on Saturday, however, like the entire town was there. It was like hopping.
Hopping, no pun intended, because it was Easter and you talked about dissecting a rabbit tail.
Oh. Yeah,
It was hopping. You know who wasn't hopping? That rabbit that got dissected.
Right.
and
Fluffy downstairs.
taxidermied.
So weird.
Ugh.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was a very successful day.
Good. I'm sorry. I just totally ruined it.
No, it's weird. I don't know. If anyone has any experience with this, please let me know. I'm not into taxidermy. The whole thing's like really freaky, but like because there are no moral issues, because these animals are already dead and they're like extending, like their you know, their usefulness and their purpose is like extending beyond their life, beyond their natural death or whatever. I don't feel particularly bad about it, but then I do feel bad about it. But then why would I feel bad about it? It's, you know, a lot of questions.
It's just a little weird.
It's a little fucking weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Which is why my brain was also like, I should try that.
You like weird, remember? You like weird.
It's just weird and repulsive enough to be something to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I will let you know if anything comes of that. We shall see. I told them at the museum, like, I'm going to start in the gift shop because, like, one of the things I like about this museum, there's so many different things that you can do. But, like, I'm going to start in the gift shop because I just want to I feel like ease my way in. And now I'm like, I'll do the skins. Like, that's
Yeah, no,
amateur taxidermy. Sure.
Okay, first of all, I thought, you know, you doing the gift shop was probably going to be like the point where you could meet the most interesting people at the museum. But like this story really calls that into question. Yeah, this is the point where I'm like, perhaps that is like, you know, a 1 on a scale of how many weird people you could meet. The calls are coming from inside the house.
From the freezer. Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So, also, speaking of TV shows, even though we've come a long way, we have to talk about Game of Thrones because Amanda let it slip before we started recording that she has gone from watching 0 Game of Thrones episodes to the first 2 of season 8.
Incorrect. I have not watched 0 episodes. I really tried with Game of Thrones. I watched like the first full 2 seasons before I bailed. I really tried.
This is like new news to me.
Yeah, I really tried. I was like, I love me a cultural phenomenon just as much as the next person. If people are into things, I got to know why. But I just couldn't do it. Those first 2 seasons just did not grab me. Every episode felt like a chore. I was not excited to keep watching.
Interesting.
So what?
Was it because it was really freaking tough to figure out who people were? Because that was a big part of it for me too in the beginning.
Yes, but I also just wasn't emotionally invested in anybody.
Did you?
Nobody was terribly. No,
that's season 3.
Okay.
But even at the end of season 1, you weren't emotionally invested.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
I super wasn't. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Like, he does and everything.
Exactly. Well, I guess I saw that coming. But I will say, these first 2 episodes of this final season, I have found them very compelling. I think this past week's episode, the first episode, I was just kind of watching because Daniel was watching it and I was already there and it was like too much effort to like get up and leave the room and go do something else. So I just stayed. Yeah. Which is really a great motivator for just anything in life. But this past episode, I was captivated. I was invested. I thought it was a really good hour of television.
Yeah, hour-ish.
HBO's a little loose on the total runtime. But yeah, I was into it.
Well, that's good. That makes us happy.
Yes.
I speak for the both of me and Shandy.
Yes.
But I don't know if I can watch next week, though, because it sounds like everybody gonna die.
Oh my god. Okay. Wait. Okay. We're gonna talk about Game of Thrones like right now. So I'm sorry if you don't watch it, but I feel like the whole world watches it, including Amanda now. So
yeah,
dude, guys, if I'm watching it, you have zero excuse.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, oh my god, I loved this past episode. I loved like Tormund's story about becoming Giant's Bane. I laughed so hard I thought I was gonna pee my pants.
He's super fun. I don't know where that character came from, but he is a delight.
He is really great.
He has always been a delight, and his obsession with Brienne of Tarth, now Sir Brienne of Tarth, it would be really creepy with any other male character anywhere on TV, but not with Tormund. We're like, oh, that's so adorable. She's so uncomfortable. We kind of are here for it.
Yeah. My question is, can he learn how to drink though?
Okay, I think that made it. It was going down his beard. Oh my god, that was so funny.
I was so grossed out by that I literally put my hand up in the horror movie thing where you like cover your eye.
Okay.
Mostly. I was just like, I think I made an audible like, ugh.
Oh my god, because I had the Jamie Lannister face mixed with like laughing hysterically.
I thought his story was hilarious. I loved everything about him, but I'm just not there for like.
Oh, I thought that was so funny.
The drink running down your face and your beard.
Yeah.
So when that scene started, before the last of it, when what's his face? I know his name. It started to sing the song that Florence and the Machine has has a wonderful cover of. I started singing like the first and second time they cut to them all. I was like, "Drink with me, 2 days gone by," which is from Les Mis. It's the drinking song before the revolution hits. Yes. So like they're all like, we're all gonna die soon, but like, drink with me now. Here's to pretty girls who went to our head, or witty girls that went to our head, and pretty girls that went to our bed, and drink with me. Anyway, so I
think it's pretty girls to the head, witty girls to the bed.
Okay, so I was right the first time. Okay, yeah. I corrected myself.
A lady in the sheet, but a freak in the bed.
Thank you. But anyway, yeah, I definitely, had that vibe to it. And then when he started singing it at the end, I was like, see, he was feeling me.
Which, side note, I watched the first episode of PBS's new Les Miserables miniseries. Really good. I'm going to keep watching. Okay. I highly... If you liked Game of Thrones, there's really actually nothing that really ties the two together, except if you like sort of period dramas and really good acting. I think that's really where
Yeah.
where the similarities end. But
yeah, we just
I digress.
established that there is something that holds them together. They both sing drinking songs the night before they're going to die in a big battle.
Exactly. There's big battles. There's big battles. Lots of people die.
Exactly.
But anyway, Game of Thrones. Let's do this.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't know. I'm not. Shandy, go.
I will say that the one thing I Googled literally as it was happening was how old is the actress who plays Arya Stark?
Oh, she's 22.
That's what I found when I Googled it. But I think everyone kind of had that collective reaction. And I heard something about a bodysuit, but I was kind of like, why do we get side boob for her and nothing for him? It's like classic Game of Thrones.
Well, okay. So I read that the showrunners actually, when they told her this is what's going to happen this season, she thought that it was like an April Fool's kind of joke. And they were like, no, like this is happening. And they let her take the lead on what she was comfortable, how the scene would unfold.
That's cool.
I like that.
Which is,
did they have their, remember how, was it HBO that was going to hire consultant?
The Deuce was doing that for all their sex scenes. They had like a...
That's right.
And was that general to HBO?
I don't know.
I
sure hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like it was a network thing, but I don't remember the details. But that would make sense if they then went about it that way. That's
but
cool.
like...
Well, that's good to know.
So it was kind of cool because in television world, Arya got to lose her virginity in a show where we see so many people like get raped for the first time or not have a say. Yes. Arya not only got to like take control of it, where she was like the one making the overtures, but like in real life, her character was, or the actress that played her, Maisie Williams, was able to be like, here's what I'm comfortable doing, and kind of control that, which I thought was also just really cool.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, and it's like I didn't rub up against anything in that scene.
Arya sure did. And I was kind of jealous. I'm not going to lie. I was like, ooh, Gendry.
True. But
it's like that bastard penis, please.
Trying to make an actually serious point here.
Okay, sorry.
Because it felt really authentic to her character. Like, it didn't feel gratuitous in any way. Like, it really felt very organic and sort of like, oh, yeah, that's totally how that character would be driving the situation. Be like, take your pants off. I'm not going to do it for you. Yeah. Like, come on, let's do it.
Yeah, like, you're clearly, like, at least 15 years older than me, but, you know, strip man. Did I mention I know death? Like...
It was kind of funny though, just with, like, all of the like clothes and like sort of like, you know, pseudo armor and just like everything. Like, how do you?
I don't know if you're aware, but winter is here, so it's pretty freaking cold.
Yes.
Well, did you guys see the live story that her coworker and, by all reports, good friend, Sophie Turner, who plays Sansa, did?
No.
Oh my God.
I'm not that much down the rabbit hole yet. I'm not following anybody on the Instas.
Okay, she's...
Side note, major love for Sansa.
Yes. Like, I love that scene between Sansa and Dany. Like, they both laid it out there, and they both, you know, I don't think that it was any knock to Dany or to Sansa when she was like, but what happens to my people? Because,
totally.
I mean, that's what we're here for. Like, what happens to my people? Just like a man would have that same conversation. It doesn't mean, like, I thought that was a wonderful scene. I love that Dany straight out was like, they don't like us because we're women and not like to be in charge, but like we rock. And
basically. And then I also liked how Sansa was like, well, we both love Jon, but like that's actually why I'm nervous, because men do really stupid things.
Yeah. Yep. So okay, so Sophie Turner is engaged to one of the Jonas Brothers, and they're on vacation right now. And there's a live Instagram or Twitter, whatever the live stories are. I guess it's Instagram that she posted after the show aired last night, and she is clearly drunk. I mean, her eyes. I will send you guys this to watch in a second, but her eyes are bright red. She's got a glass of wine in her hand. She's doing the classic, like, you know, whatever.
Teeter totter.
teeter-totter. And so in the past, in previous seasons, I don't know if Shandy's probably aware of this, like Maisie Williams and Sophie Turner are very good friends in real life. And there's been or they've joked about smoking weed together during viewing parties and stuff. Like they're just really great friends. They're not in competition at all.
Right. Which, side note, I just Googled how old she is, and she's 21. No, 23.
23, yeah.
That was just gonna blow my mind if she was actually younger than Arya.
So,
but anyway.
Let me play you this audio, and then I will send you the video to watch. But yeah, here we go.
In honor of Easter, I guess Game of Thrones wanted the storyline to have a little Easter bunny hopping into that pussy. And that's the tea.
So she goes, and that's the tea, and takes a giant sip of her wine, and she tags it at Maisie Williams. So hold on. Let me send you this. It is so funny. And then, while you guys are doing that, it's right at the top of that story. And then Maisie Williams responds with, if you feel uncomfortable, just know that my mother and my stepdad and my 2 sisters and my 4 brothers have all possibly watched this, meaning this live video, this too. And then she does the multiple tweets, multiple character, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Totally. But I just overall, I really loved how talky this episode was. And I was listening to a Game of Thrones podcast that I listened to where they were they weren't down on it because of that, but they keep kind of being okay, where's the action? I'm are you kidding me? The most interesting stuff is when characters, especially interesting characters, talk to each other. Yeah, we don't need to decide the fates of, the world necessarily for it to be interesting. And the battle scenes, I was thinking that the battle scene would happen this episode, and I my mind was fixed on that.
Really? And
so as the minutes started ticking down, I was oh cool, it's gonna be a really fast battle scene. Yeah. And then it didn't happen, so it'll probably be most of next episode. Whatever.
It's but actually the entire. It's an hour and a half episode next week, and it's the whole episode. So
and that's. But I'm sorry, action scenes are not battle scenes. It's not that interesting. Okay, it'll be
love
cool.
Battle scenes and action scenes, but I was super okay with if this is. We've had 8 seasons, and most of these characters we didn't like in the beginning, and now we love them, and we're about to mourn for them, and we're dreading the fact that these TV fictional characters are going. I'm okay with having the one last night with them all, and because the next time we see most of them, they're gonna be they're
gonna be dead.
They're gonna be zombies. So
that's true. Not for nothing. I just got on board, so it's
I'm not ready to see Samwell try to kill Jon Snow as a zombie. I'm not prepared for this. But I was okay with that, and I'm okay with. No, I'm not. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the Battle of Winterfell. I'm less ready than any of them, and they're the ones that are actually going to go through it fictionally.
Although I am curious, because I feel because I'm not super emotionally invested, because I haven't been watching, I wonder how, for me, that'll change the scene. I can probably think of it more, technically, of oh, it took them, something insane, 60 days to shoot this one.
55 days to shoot that one episode.
Yeah, so it's to sort of see the,
wow,
HBO at its most HBO, just, lighting money on fire for the sake of glitz and glamour. And
oh my God, no wonder this season didn't come out until 2019. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So who do we think is going to die? Or who do you think is going to live?
Yeah.
We know that Arya and Tyrion are going to live, because I think George R.R. Martin has said that they're the only 2 characters he would ever guarantee surviving until the end.
Wait, what?
Supposedly.
Really?
He definitely. So Arya is his favorite character. I guess a while ago he said that she's not going to die, and then my coworker today told me that Tyrion
she's
also.
His Hagrid.
She's his Hagrid. Yes. Yes. So we know that. I'm fairly certain Jaime is going to live, because Jaime has to go kill Cersei to finish his character arc. Theon is goner. Theon is
Theon's a total goner.
Yeah, he's got his redemption. He's like, hey, I got my penis cut off after helping, the worst person in the world besides this dead guy coming to kill us, take over and then rape you, Sansa. So here's my redemption. Don't you like my very crude?
Sure, meant nothing to me.
Summarize.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
I mean, to be fair, like all of that stuff was really, really, really hard to watch. So
In that
sense, Amanda, you're not missing anything.
You're not. So Sansa, the character with the red hair, and Theon, the one that came back and volunteered to guard Bran, who was the Red Raven. Remember we talked about a rape scene when we first started this show?
Yeah.
So Sansa was raped not by Theon, but this dude Ramsay Bolton took over Winterfell where they are and tried to be like the king of it or whatever, like the leader of it. And Theon was kind of responsible for that, but also was super abused and made tortured, had his penis cut off, was super neutered literally in every sense by him. And there was this scene where Ramsay, the bad guy, rapes Sansa, and it's super graphic and awful. And Theon was there, and because Theon cared so much about her because they grew up together, he made him watch. And we talked about that on this show before, didn't we?
I think so, because the whole scene, the outrage about that was that the camera is then focusing on Theon, so the whole thing becomes about his emotional response to this rape and not the actual person being raped. Yeah. Her experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're lucky you missed that part of the show. But it had a happy ending because, spoiler alert, Ramsay got eaten by dogs. So
yes, that's true. Yes. At the hand of Sansa, too. She was the one who got to stick the dogs on him. Yep.
Boy, bye.
I didn't know she was back at Winterfell for so long.
3 seasons now? 4 seasons?
Yeah, because last I left off, she was still...
She was still there, but then after...
Nothing had really happened, really, to move... Yeah, they were still in a totally different playing field.
No,
they were
after
in
Joffrey...
After
Joffrey died, she eventually made her way back to Winterfell, and, it was also not great. So, Sansa seemed some shit. So was Arya. And,
Yeah. Well, to get back to who all we think's going to make it out.
Yeah.
I think someone had told me that some of the promotional language that they were using in ads was that no man will survive. So I'm like, dude, that means all the ladies live. They essentially just said a lady is going to take the Iron Throne.
I mean, that could go 2 ways. Because they are very much guilty of using man as a neutral, which it's not. And so it could be no man will live, meaning no humans.
Everybody gonna die?
Yeah. Or it could be maybe a little bit a hint at what you were saying. Exactly what you're saying.
As a drive-by viewer, I'm going to go with that one.
But although I do think that Brienne could probably die, and I
think Brienne will die because the knighting scene, which we didn't even talk about, which was the best part of the entire episode.
It was so good. She is the best human being
I cried.
ever.
She really is.
Such a great actress. I love her.
But I feel like that kind of that completes it, for her.
Yeah, that completes it. I think she's going to die a hero's death.
It bums me out.
I don't want Sir Davos to die because I love Sir Davos.
I don't know who that is.
Sir Davos is the guy with the beard. He had the Sean Connery accent.
He's at the soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, the old guy.
The old guy. He wasn't going to drink, but then he ended up drinking after.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. I think Wormtail and even Missandei are easy people to kill off.
Grey Worm.
And not be...
But Grey Worm...
I was like,
Grey Worm is going to die because...
he's definitely going to...
Eunuch, right?
No, the eunuch is Aerys.
No, but he's also a eunuch.
Yeah. Grey Worm's also a eunuch.
So then wait, which one is he?
Varys is the warrior guy from the beginning.
Who's Grey
Wormtail?
Oh, Grey Worm. Grey Worm was the one that got with
Missandei,
who wants to go back to the beach. Peaceful people.
Oh,
he's the warrior guy.
He's the one that I asked if he was a Dothraki, and I was like, "Are they still around?"
Yeah,
They are still around.
they are, but we don't really see them anymore.
But he's not one of them. But he's like this whole,
which is kind of a bummer and a little racist.
No, it's they're. I mean, they're there in things.
Okay.
The Unsullieds were a big part of the Battle for Casterly Rock. The Dothraki have been kicking ass because nobody had encountered them before Dany brought them places. So,
okay.
Yeah. But, so Grey Worm.
Also, why does he have such a shitty name? That's not fair.
Oh, there's a lot more shitty names in that show.
It's like part of that group of mercenaries. They get names that are like purposefully like vermin, basically.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And they are like castrated. Or
no, there
was a whole conversation about
aren't
what
they?
Was left.
Yeah.
I think it's just the balls, just no rocks. No,
Okay.
or is it the other way around? I don't know.
I don't know either
remember.
because I mean when they talked about it when they had sex ish, so.
But there's no reason.
I can't remember. Because didn't she say like I can please you in other ways or something?
Well, they certainly had sex, and I think it's a really interesting callback to conversations about what is sex and like how the way that we all have been conditioned to think about it is so phallocentric. Like, of course they can have sex. They have other things.
Yeah.
And you don't need a penis for sex.
Yeah.
He can't have kids, like that's for sure.
Yeah.
But the rest is totally...
Yeah, that's true. Okay, getting back to it. I think Jorah is going to die, even though he's got that Valyrian steel sword. I hope he goes out a hero, and I hope that I hope that Lyanna picks it up, the little girl.
Yeah, God, she's such a firecracker. I love her.
I need her to kill me some White Walkers.
Yeah, she's gonna be a super badass. Do you think she's gonna live, though?
Yeah, she is, because we need her for the spinoff.
Okay.
Are they going to do a spinoff?
I don't know. I think they're doing a prequel.
They're doing a prequel. Yeah.
So is she the child? She's the child? Is she actually a child, or is she one of those things where like she just looks like a child? But she's like, she's 120 years old.
No, she's actually a child. She's the last left of the family house.
So she's in charge.
The family's name is House?
No. They're the Monmouth, Jorah Monmouth is
Mormont,
Mormont is the house.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she's the last of them, but she was named for Lyanna Stark, who is Jon Snow's mother. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, no, that.
Yeah. But great times. Yeah. So I love. There's a theory going on. There's a couple of theories going on about because they talked about the crypts being, the safest place. That clearly they're not going to be the safest place, but
right.
Because you've got a dude that's coming to you that can raise the dead. And there's a theory that's going around that actually says he's going to raise the dead, but because Bran the Builder was the one that built the wall and was a Stark that built Winterfell, and because the Night King is rumored to be a descendant of the Starks too, because he was one of the first men, and the Starks were also the first men, that he's going to get down there, try to raise them, and the deceased Stark kings are going to come out and defend House Winterfell, and they're going to be the ones that save them from the White Walkers.
Ooh,
I like that theory.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was I was wondering about the crypts, like why that would be safe, and then also, I mean, just they it could have been a drinking game, like how many times they talked about the crypts, and it was
so many times.
It was also in the opening sequence, like in the credits.
Yeah,
they did a big thing in the crypts. It's like, that's weird. We don't usually go there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely something gonna happen.
Yeah, I think that Gendry, however you say his name, Arya's fuck buddy, is going to. I think he's gonna live because we heard today we had which we haven't heard in how many seasons that he is the bastard son of Robert Baratheon, who is still the rightful bloodline that's on the throne right now. And then we had Jon Snow talking about to Daenerys how he's the rightful male heir. And, she's like, oh shit, I'm not fucking my nephew. I'm fucking the person that has a claim over me. So I think that he's got to survive too, because it might be a showdown, like who has the rightful claim, like in the end. Is it going to be the Baratheons? Is it going to be the Targaryens? Like, who is it? So,
well, wouldn't it just obviously be the Targaryens? Because,
well, technically the Baratheons are still on the throne right now.
But they dethroned the Targaryens, so
yeah. So
does that make them more legit, or does that actually make them less legit?
That's the question that Danny has been. I think that's kind of the question: is who is supposed to have the power now?
Mm-hmm. Well, Jon doesn't want it, and Gendry's a bastard, so doesn't actually have a claim to it, even if we decide that it's his house, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, but you could use like the Queen Elizabeth I argument that she was essentially made a bastard once Anne Boleyn was executed, and she still got to be queen.
That's a good point.
Ooh.
So bastards can be unbastardized.
Yeah. Well, that's
history has
well, actually, that's true
precedent.
Because Jon Snow needs to be on. I mean, he's not a bastard like he believed his whole life, but like he's got to prove that too.
Yeah. Which, like, just total side note, the fact that whether or not your parents are married has any sort of bearing on you yourself as a person and like your statute in life is just crazy. And obviously it's not like that today, but it like still a little bit like there's still essentially stigma.
It was like
no, but it's just like mind blowing.
Yeah,
the sins of the father, like
yeah,
right,
but it
what?
sure does add like a whole other element of like debate here. So for storytelling purposes, but anyway, okay. Last predictions. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if this whole thing is leading us to a place, and it kind of already has, where it's like, oh, the rightful person is actually a dude. Like when we've had all of these female contenders this whole time, and if what we're actually like going towards is just like a reminder of like, oh yeah, it should be a dude, then that's going to be disappointing. And in a way, like that's already happened because we already know that Jon Snow has more of a claim than Daenerys, even though that's what her whole entire identity and motivation is. No, I don't think he wants it either. I had the exact
same thought, like just coming into it. I'm like, oh, well, that's
yeah, that's too bad.
Kind of like,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
no, but I think it sets it up for some good conflict. But I think Daenerys will get it in the end, or Cersei will somehow cockroach her way to finish out.
Right. Well, I suppose it like becomes the like what is the intent and like the overall moral of the story, that like evil's gonna rule out in the day or that good conquers all. Like I think whoever becomes like the leader in the end is a real comment on like as a series what they think about good versus evil and like how that.
I honestly think that it could go any way. Or I was talking to somebody recently and they have a theory that the Night King is going to end up on the throne at the end because they just think that that's like the kind of fucked up thing that George R. R. Martin would come up with.
But would anyone enjoy that? Like, you've invested so much time and energy. Like, you gotta also think about like,
yeah, because those
is that a satisfying ending to your story?
There has been so many effed up heartbreaks and good characters dying that I think that there's a contingent of the readers who would be like, all right, we could see that.
Yeah, but wouldn't it make more sense that like, yeah, you've had all this heartbreak to have it pay off with like a really satisfying ending?
But we like happy endings.
That's true.
What she said, Matt. I know.
Well, it doesn't have to be someone good. It just has to be someone like worthy of the power.
Yeah. I will say that what we've seen through 8 seasons, I think, is that good doesn't prevail.
Yeah,
most of the time.
I'm coming at it again from an outsider.
Which is, I think, why that theory to me is a contender, because we've seen that good does not usually win.
And maybe that's why I never liked the show. Like, it's not satisfying to me.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I mean, people do get their comeuppance. Like, Ramsay got his comeuppance. Joffrey got his comeuppance. Sometimes
Daddy Lannister got his comeuppance.
Yeah.
Queen Oleana, like, she got her comeuppance, but like she had the most badass way to die when she was like, by the way, it was me. Like, I killed Joffrey.
Pretty cool. I have seen that. I've seen that scene.
Yeah. And we were like, you're kind of a terrible person too, but you go, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Final thoughts on this, and then we'll move into
I guess we'll see. And at Raleigh, we will all be watching episode 4 together, which will be 2/3 of the way through the season.
I know. Oh my God. Also, so this airs on Sunday. On Saturday, Jay and I are going to go see Avengers Endgame, in which everybody is also like rumored to die. I am not emotionally prepared or equipped to live through this next weekend. Like, it is going to be a million therapy sessions rolled into one.
It's supposed to be real good. Little bit, like, apparently, like, press is embargoed, I think, until maybe, like, now. I don't know.
Washington Post released something, and so did maybe Hollywood Reporter, somebody else, and they both said it was an emotionally satisfying ending. So I'm like, oh, God, please make that be that, like, nobody died.
Yeah, but it was just like all the initial tweets. Like, people were allowed to tweet like after the screen. They're all like, people are going to lose their goddamn minds. Like, blah.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
so I think it's going to be a very
we are
worth all that investment of time.
We just rewatched Infinity War. We are prepared.
I still haven't seen Captain Marvel. I feel like
so
that's
good.
I feel like that's probably important to see this because I feel like it's like one of the it's the only movie right in between Infinity Wars and Endgame.
No, Ant-Man.
Oh, there was a second Ant-Man.
Yeah, which I also loved. It's really fun.
I mean, pretty much anything with Paul Rudd is going to be not a waste of your time.
Yeah. But the second Ant-Man is really fun. And then, did we have a Spider-Man in between? I don't think so. No, we didn't. Of course we didn't, because duh.
No, there was the animated Spider-Man, which I think is like outside of this whole
So universe. we had Ant-Man and then Captain Marvel. And I would say watch them both because Ant-Man's really fun and Captain Marvel is really great. It has stuff that ties directly in because it fills in the blank for that time period after like Captain America and the first Iron Man or whatever. Like it takes place in the 90s, so it's like that big block of time that you don't know like kind of what's going on, and it kind of traces back to the beginning of the Avengers, like the very early stages. It's really good. I really liked it.
Cool.
Woo! We talked about this for a good 25 minutes.
Nice.
So go us. We were going to talk about... So, okay, we don't have time now, but that's okay. We were going to read some of the Mueller report because Dennis requested it. But I think it might be even funnier to read it live and make, like, Dot and Dennis and Mike read it together.
Oh, yes.
So, pick your favorite passage.
The honorary broad players.
The honorary broad players. If we could put something together, I make no guarantees. I do. I make no guarantees. But it would be really funny if we could pull something like that off. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, maybe we'll punt this to next week. If I'm not, so in mourning after Avengers and Battle for Winterfell that I'm like, let's just not podcast ever again.
Just, Colleen, watch Schitt's Creek as a palate cleanser.
Okay, that's a good point. Also, we're not recording a regular episode next Tuesday. We're not recording until our next episode will be the live episode. So it's then or never.
True.
Thanks all for getting through our Game of Thrones talk. Drink with me.
or not empty.
We're all empty.
Well, it's been over an hour. All right, on that note, let's stop, take a quick ad break and bathroom break, and we'll come back and get into some of our feedback. All right, we are back and we are ready to get into some farting in your facey back. We'll kick it off with speaking of Dennis, with a comment from Dennis who said a 500 record equals 50% wins and losses. This is based on a perfect record being 1,000 or 1.000 and 0.500. Base originally from baseball, where a hit at every at bat was referred to as batting 1,000. See, I knew that I knew it.
Huh?
Like, I actually still don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
Because if the threshold is 1,000 and you've got equal wins and equal loses, then you're at 500. You're right in the middle.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just not going to get it. It's okay.
Okay.
500, 1,000. Equal wins and equal losses. That seems like a pretty shitty record to me, but
yeah, I don't get it.
It's not great.
It's like nothing to write home about.
It's not great, but when your team is over 500, has more wins than losses for the first time in like 5 years, it's kind of exciting. And there we have it. And then Dennis also linked to a tachometer. So a tachometer, this was when I was talking about the dude that tried to like rev up the car, to show how macho he was, and then like blew his car out. It's an instrument measuring rotation of the shack or disc in a motor or other machine. It usually displays the revolutions per minute on a calibrated analog dial. It essentially, I don't know, it does something. It just measures shit. So there we have it. Greg said, so is, quote, rim to rim, unquote, the new way of saying ass to mouth. Am I the only deviant who thought of this?
No. I mean, really, like, the word rim makes me think of one thing and one thing only.
Ass to mouth.
And, like, well, not like rimming. Anyway. Not necessarily specifically ass to mouth, but like ass on mouth.
True.
Mm.
I mean, in any case, yes, it makes me think of ass. Rim makes me think of that. There's also a song by Erykah Badu, which is like, I think it's rim shot, but I always think she's saying rim job. So yeah, no, Greg, you're not alone.
Okay, there you go. Randy said, I'm sure the rangers and employees who live and work at Phantom Ranch have no internet access. There is communication with the RIM using phones and radio. But this might only be for official use and emergencies. Cell service is near non-existent. There are a few places that you can sometimes get a signal if you walk a ways. For example, near the intersection of North Kebab and Clear Creek Trail. I've seen employees walk there just to make a call on a cell phone. Truth is, I haven't spent that much time in the main corridor of the Grand Canyon. My time has mostly been in the backcountry, backpacking, or on river trips.
Hashtag goals. It's like, Randy, who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? Funny story, though, that the North Kebab and Clear Creek Trail intersection, I've been there because we did part of the Clear Creek Trail.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I'm really glad, actually, that I didn't know that there was possibly cell service there. Not that I would have, like, tried, but...
But you might have.
Yeah,
right.
I might
have. Just knowing that it's there.
Yeah. I liked the idea that it just wasn't even a possibility, so my phone was in airplane mode the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Mandy said, am I alone in listening to podcasts instead of music while running? No, I always listen to podcasts in whatever I'm doing.
Same.
Mostly, yeah. Sometimes I do need some music, but just occasionally.
Yeah, that's true. Occasionally.
Yeah, like if I don't want to think even enough to listen to a podcast, then I'll put on music.
And I guess now it's time for Matt's What She Said. That was pretty quick. Also, that's what she said. Mm-hmm. I didn't see that one coming.
All right, I switched it up. Sounded a little bit awkward with that delivery, but we're rolling with it.
We're here. We're doing it. We're doing a thing.
I'm going to use that from now on.
That's what we're doing, too.
We celebrate completion.
The journey was fun. Everybody worked hard. We reached the end, and now it's time to celebrate. And then start again.
We got stuff coming out.
I get stuck. I get down, and I can't bring myself back up.
Oh, that happens to me sometimes, too.
I love the delivery in my head.
Is it chugging? Or is he really good at swallowing?
It's one of those have a couple and then feel it later.
I think it's not so much how, as much as it's the fact that you can do it.
2 more.
I need to figure out why that's happening.
It's always fun to hear about other people's first experiences. True. I mean, that was a theme on this podcast for a couple of weeks.
That is a legitimate statement.
Mm-hmm.
That is. And I still welcome more.
Yes.
Broadcasterstudio@gmail.com.
You just be doing that for funsies.
I think it's really intense and really cool for anyone who does it.
I know I messed that up. I'm sorry.
Colleen's not going to let him have it.
Let's wrap it up with Andy's virginity. We need that on a button.
Yes!
We need that on some sort of merchandise. Jacob, if you're listening, Jacob, if you're listening, we could really use. Will it take 5 hours for him to put it on? That's my only question.
Whatever you come up with.
We got through pretty quick this week.
You're just loving the hard balls.
Always.
I don't think we've gotten one since December.
It's coming up soon.
All right, we had one bit of feedback before we move on. I actually got a message to my messenger, and it says... He said,
secret feedback.
I bought the clit sucker vibe.
Oh.
My wife had a couple of good orgasms right away. However, on subsequent occasions, it was not as successful. A lot has to do with the anatomy of the recipient. My wife said the vibrator needs to be a bit longer. The top end is a bit difficult to hit the target. We will practice and report back.
Why, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Please report back.
By all means.
All right, moving on to But Her Shemails, hashtag. Our first email is from JP from NJ.
All right. The title of the email is Marathons and Chafing Nipples. So that sounds like some great foreshadowing. So let's see what it says. Hello, broads. I thought I would throw out a discussion topic based on an article I shared with the J&J Facebook group. Recently, a gentleman set the record for the most time seeing a movie in the theater by watching Captain Marvel 116 times. So I wanted to know, if given this opportunity, what movie would you go see 117 times in the theater over the course of a 3-week period? And ... do you like your popcorn buttered? Looking forward to seeing everyone in Raleigh, JP.
Who doesn't like their popcorn buttered?
Yeah, I like it. It's vegan, actually, because it's not real butter, that butter topic. So literally everyone can enjoy it.
Oh, that's very thoughtful. I like my popcorn buttered for the first little bit of it, and then I kind of start wishing that I didn't get it buttered.
Well, you can solve that. You just don't do a good moving around underneath the dispenser. You just kind of do a little bit on top, and then it doesn't really
seep in,
get
sink
all
soggy and
No, I like all the butter.
That's true. All the butter, all the garlic.
I used to like all the salt, and now I'm getting a little bit older. I'm like, how about a little not much salt?
Right. When you wake up the next morning and your ankles and fingers are all swollen.
Right. When you feel the salt the next morning more than the garlic, you're like, okay, perhaps I've gotten too old for the salt.
Right. It's time to
Except when it comes to Ritz, apparently.
No, well, all I ask for is...
We're not animals here.
We're not animals. All I ask for is a normal amount of salt on my Ritz.
Okay, but side note, what is this about garlic on popcorn?
The powder.
I'm sorry, there are 2 acceptable toppings on popcorn, and they are butter, even though sometimes that might be a bit much, and salt. And that's it.
Oh my God.
I also enjoy the truffle parmesan on the popcorn.
Nope.
Yeah, our movie theater, our now closest movie theater, does that. It's like their specialty house popcorn.
It tastes like French fries, but it's popcorn.
Yeah, it's real good.
I like garlic.
It tastes like popcorn.
No, I like garlic. Once in a while, I'll put red pepper flakes on it.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
that's good stuff.
Oh, God.
Little
It's so good.
Some fresh ground pepper.
Yeah, if you do just popcorn without all the butter and just that stuff, it's actually kind of like a healthy snack.
Yeah, I like curry powder sometimes on popcorn.
Oh, I never thought to do that.
There used to be a bar downtown in New York that used to do as just a free bar snack would do curried popcorn.
I am scandalized.
Yeah. It's like popcorn is my favorite
your
food.
worldview of popcorn, Shandy.
It is my favorite food, so I have a very diverse.
Be international
condiments.
popcorn eaters like us.
Yeah.
So in France, if you go to a movie theater and you get popcorn, you will be aghast because you will stick your hand into the bucket expecting movie theater popcorn, and instead you will get basically kettle corn, and it's jarring. I can eat kettle corn a little bit if it's like in certain settings, like at the farmer's market, if I pick up a little bag and then I can like munch on that. But in a movie theater, it's just salt and butter. That's it.
If you have,
and generally speaking,
I had a friend that I bought. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You go first.
I had a friend that I bought some kettle corn. She had like a birthday picnic and we brought some kettle corn, not knowing that she doesn't like it. So like we're just all sharing snacks and she like goes to take a bite. And I have never seen someone have such a drastic response to popcorn before. It was like it had cyanide on it.
I understand.
And I felt real bad.
Oh, have you gotten to the cyanide scene in Sabrina? ...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that was in the wedding episode.
Yeah.
You're just like, cyanide. I'm like, I don't know, Game of Thrones?
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
Marvel? We've talked about a lot. We've covered a lot of ground.
True.
I mean, how badass was that? Where she's like...
That was pretty cool. Well, because you always think of her as kind of like the less conniving character.
Right, it's like Zelda's full of threats and Hilda's full of like, I'm just going to do it.
Yep.
With a smile. Bye-bye.
Yes, I am still actually a witch, so
Yeah.
do not cross me.
Yeah. Sorry, getting back to popcorn. If you have a favorite popcorn flavor, we could make this the new virginity thing. Popcorn is the new virginity. Let us know the broadcasters3@gmail.com or give us a call 331-276-2373. We want to know where you stand on popcorn because clearly we're about to get into the summer. Summer means popcorn flicks. And, of course, light, fluffy content. And we would love to hear about what you like on your light, fluffy popcorn.
Yes, and please, by all means, if you are a traditionalist, please come and tell me in solidarity, because I will literally never be a traditionalist on basically anything. But
this is
popcorn is popcorn.
Popcorn's your jam.
We found the one topic in which Shandy is conservative.
Well,
she is a right-wing
took 3
popcorn
years,
eater.
but we did it.
Right-wing popcorn eater. You're the Mike Pence of popcorn eaters.
You and your
I do not appreciate. I will not impose my choices on others. I will just tell them that they're wrong, but I will not legislate their choices.
Yeah, but just being so critical about how I choose to live my life.
Oh my God, this is like earth-shattering and groundbreaking. God's gonna write in next week and be like, you know what I love? Curried popcorn.
100%. I bet he's super liberal.
He's never tried it. Curried popcorn, man.
The thing is, like,
you know,
it might not even be gross. Stuff. It's just not appropriate. It's not for the movie theater.
I disagree.
Well, maybe not in the movie theater. I wouldn't like bring my own curry seasoning and just like,
why not?
Crunch, crunch, crunch. But at home, if I'm like just, popping some popcorn, as one does.
Just,
put on a little curry powder, a little extra salt, give it a shake.
Oh,
it's party
my
time.
God. This is the
party
best
time.
This is the best revelation. Like,
poor JP. This was like the throw off part of the question. I don't think he was expecting us to spend so much time on the popcorn part.
Yeah, okay, that's right. You're right. Getting back to this. That's commitment to being a world record holder.
That's insanity.
Yeah. I don't think I love any movie that much.
Do you know? Hold on. Let's figure this out. I mean, that's at least $11,000, right? Let's say that he went to a matinee, paid $10 a ticket, right? $10 times 116 is – oh, no, that's $1,000. That's $1,200. But, okay, my math is terrible. But still, $1,200 is a lot of money to spend on a movie.
Yeah, just buy it already.
Yeah.
You know what, Shandy? You buy a whore, you earn a queen.
True.
You buy
Make
a
an
presidency.
exception if you want somebody else to think that this baby is not from your brother.
Also, you buy a presidency. You earn a world record.
For now.
For now. All right, we'll finish this up with some Andy's virginity.
Hey, broads. Sorry to be a broken record, but no news from me this week. Although I guess I should probably get ready for my 2-year anniversary of writing to your show, since your anniversary is coming up too.
Oh, wow.
That happened fast.
Yeah. Trying to think about highlights, and I'm coming up short, but at least my road to losing my virginity has been much less tumultuous than, spoiler alert, Arya Stark's.
You know,
Yeah, you didn't have to
hers
become a
ended
face
with
with
Bone
that.
and Gendry, so she's...
Maybe I'll wind up joining a mysterious cult of assassins. Year 3 of Andy's virginity could be something. Hashtag I'm with hers, Andy.
Word.
Nice.
Let us know when you have no face, Andy. And Andy has no face. Oh, Amanda, I hope that we could do an Amanda rewatch podcast for Game of Thrones.
It'll be like
Oh.
our own Gay of Thrones,
Yes.
which is very entertaining.
Yeah.
You can watch Jonathan Van Ness do just about anything.
You know, yeah, Gay of Thrones is pretty funny, but we would call ours Game of Broads,
Oh.
Okay.
I think. I mean, you're good at the stuff. I'm not good at that stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's like some pun off of the three-eyed raven.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The three-eyed broad.
Yeah, or just
Because I think it's like someone that sees and knows everything and someone who's quite the opposite.
it's true.
It's like going back and watching it completely like after the craziness. I think
We'll
there's
figure
something
it out.
there.
We'll
Yeah,
figure
we'll
it out.
workshop it. We'll workshop it.
Definitely.
We'll do it in post.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The broad has 3 heads.
yeah. No. What?
The dragon. No.
Yeah.
Anyone? Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of
dodo.
threes.
The three-eyed dodo.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of threes in Game of Thrones. We could figure it out. The very sullied. The totally sullied.
Oh my god, I love it.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll figure it out. We'll work it out. All right. Next time you guys will hear from us, it will be our live show in Raleigh, and we are very, very excited for some of the stuff that we've got planned. I cannot wait to do that. Please stay tuned. We will find ways to get the link to you. If you don't see it, I don't know, send us a message somehow, but check our Instagram, the Broadcasters3, check our Twitter, which is the Broadcast3. If you're in the Jay and Jack Facebook group, it'll be there. It'll be in the patrons group. We'll also, if you are a patron, patreon.com/Jay and Jack. If you're a patron, even at whatever level, I will send out an email and I will post it there. And actually, it should be like on the front page of that. So we will get ways to let everybody know when it was, but figure about 8 or 9 o'clock on Saturday, May 4th. And, stay tuned because it's going to be off the hook. But we're not going to take your pants off for you.
You got to do that yourself.
You're going to have to do that yourself. Drink with us to days gone by. We're the pretty and witty girls that went to your head. But not to your bed. Anyway, yeah, so I think I just took care of like all of our housekeeping stuff all within that one thing. Oh, Amazon. Shop through the Amazon affiliates link. jayandjack.com/Amazon, all lowercase letters. Keep an eye on our store. jayandjack.com/store. If you would like merchandise, you can get your Team Science, Team Universe mug there. And I don't know, just a little birdie says you should just keep an eye on it over the next couple of weeks. We've gone through our schedule. We'll have our live birthday party on Tuesday, June 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So put that on your schedule. Check out our Instagram. Again, Broadcasters3. Having a lot of fun. And I think that's all I've got. Although I actually did have one more Game of Thrones thing, but I also don't want to drive everybody crazy with Game of Thrones things, so I can tell you guys after if you'd like.
Okay. You're going to leave them wanting more.
Well, I think that they talk about it on Game of Thrones with J. Jack and Nick, which is the show that the network has that covers it, so check that out too. Because Nick is a Nick book know-it-all and TV show know-it-all. So take that, Game of Thrones with J. Jack and Nick. We just had our own Game of Thrones episode. And talked about popcorn, because we cool like that.
Yep.
But anyway, okay, on that note, I think we have done more than enough damage tonight. Ooh, I just hit something. And can't wait to see you in Raleigh, so please stay tuned. Special thank you to the patrons that support us at a certain level, and that would be Ed the Creepy Mailman, Tack from Tokyo, Eckhart Rickner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanna with a Plan, and the Drake. Thank you guys so much, as always. And now I think it is definitely time for us to get out of here. I will see you all on the other side of all the Game of Thrones characters and Avengers dying. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.